Blessings and shalom, everybody. It is Saturday night. It's about 11 something. I had to come on here to tell you, thank you for a lot of people that's been praying, even me. Like I told my daughter, one thing about me, God, I learned that if He wake me up out of my sleep, it's vital important for me to pray for somebody somewhere that needs a prayer because I could be in my good sleep and all of a sudden I wake up and I can't fall back to sleep. And I told her I learned during the years it's time for me to pray. And sometimes I might get on there and post after I pray. But today my daughter had called me and told me about when she had her baby shower. It was a little girl there. She was like maybe 2 then, about 2. And I remember the little pretty little girl. She was kind of dark skinned, but she was a pretty little girl. And my daughter said, I think she had autism because the little girl had been getting around the hall where we had the baby shower at. She was just getting into everything and just everywhere. But anyway, my daughter told me, she said, you remember the little girl that was being bad at the baby shower? She kept on doing stuff and trying to pull the tablecloths off and all. I said, yeah, I remember her because when she came in, her mother came in, they had to walk past the table that our family was at. And I remember seeing the little girl. And she told me that the little girl mother had let her cousin watch her little daughter. And the cousin let the little girl go outside and didn't even tell and didn't even and was missing and didn't even let the mother know and call her and tell her daughter was missing. So now the little girl is about 5, and the mother, she finally called the mother in the afternoon time, probably 3 or 4, and told her daughter was missing since the morning. Now I done heard a lot of things, but how you don't notice a little 5-year-old that's in your custody while you're babysitting is missing? So the mother she was all erratic, and she came and the family got to looking for the girl. They found the little girl. Thank God they found the little girl. She was in the alley near a field. And they said when they walked up on the little girl, she was scared. She was balled up. Somebody had pulled out her braids in the front of her hair from the scalp. And she had bruises on her, and she was naked. And they were calling her name. She didn't respond when her mother or whoever was calling her name. She just was balled up. So they took the little girl to the hospital. She's in the hospitals. Of course, she's trauma, PTSD, definitely. This little girl is going to need a lot of counseling. But they're supposed to do a rape kit in the morning for the little girl. But like I told my daughter, most likely whatever sadistic psychopath pedophile had to probably rape her, because for you to pull out this little girl for all the front of her braids, you had a lot of anger in you. And then they said it was strangling marks on the little girl's neck, so you was strangling her, pulling her hair out, and probably hitting her and probably raping the little girl. But hopefully, I pray she wasn't when they get the rape kit done. But it's some sick, crazy people out here, like I tell everybody. Everybody doing all this talking, but when you really in this thing and you dealing with people on a daily basis, speaking to people, God showing you people, it's evil out here. Like I told my son, he said, what type of crazy sick person to do some stuff like that? I said, there's a lot of sick people walking among us daily. That's why you have to watch who you yoke yourself up to. Like I told him, I'm glad he just don't just talk to any kind of girl. Now that he see what I'm talking about, my youngest son, he watches. He first gonna see if the girl clean, and how she take care of herself. And see, that's one thing I thank God that my sons and my daughters glean from me and my grooming and how I take care of myself. I never came up to that school looking crazy. I always was stylish. I always dressed to the fashion. And that's what made people jealous about me, because I don't care how old I was and how young, I always could dress. And like I told him, that's one thing I said. One thing about it, you can't never say that your mama ain't tell y'all about stuff. before it happened. It's just that if y'all choose to listen. And I'm just praying for that family, and I'm praying for that little girl that she get the therapy she needs, because she's going to be needing a lot of it. Because anytime you have something traumatic like that happen to you, like I told people from teaching them, it's going to bring PTSD to her. She's going to, and yes, at 5, you can remember things. So everybody stay prayed up and don't forget, God got this. And I thank God and the angels for having that little girl, because whoever had her thought they dumped her and they thought she was dead, but she's living. And I pray to God they catch this sick person that's walking around doing something like that to an innocent little child. Until next time, be blessed.